Welcome to Casual Talks.
But wait, I gotta look at my Snapchat.
No, yeah, whatever.
No, I'm looking at my Snapchat, man.
I'm gonna play Street Fighter in the background. If you hear me go, ah! That means I'm dead.
Yep. Mm-hmm,
I don't understand.
Are you looking at Snapchat?
I don't understand what's happening.
It's his penis.
This is Casual Talks.
Okay, Casual Talks.
We are our normal cast. We got Frankie.
What's up?
Myself, and Austin.
Yeah.
Who's back from college for spring break because he's a learned bitch.
Yeah.
For like a day. Hopefully we could do this more.
We're hoping
maybe,
so. More likely in the summer.
Maybe over Skype. Something like that.
That'd
I don't know.
be
We're
cool.
still working that all out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, alright. So Frankie's playing Street Fighter 5 right now, just to kind of keep himself flowing.
I have no flow. I have nothing but flow.
Tyler's got his topic.
Yes. Oh, let me talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So, we'll try to make these a little more regular, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Be nice. I think this would be fun.
Maybe once a week.
Yeah,
Once every
be
couple
cool.
weeks.
Oh,
Once
okay,
every
that
couple
works.
weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about, you can just put it in the comments or message us on our channel, Totally Casual Gaming, where you're watching this right now.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. You could message us on our Gmail. Same thing, TotallyCasualGaming@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Totally casual, he says. We're not casual at all. We're hardcore.
Well, that's kind of the joke.
Professional level. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that's kind of the joke, man. Is like we're totally casual gaming, but we're not always casual.
We're the filthy casual
I mean,
casuals.
we play games. I feel more casually than some people.
Yeah.
You know, like people will get really into games. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, League of Legends. I'm probably a little bit. I'm the only one that plays League of Legends here. I'm probably a little bit more competitive, but I don't freak out if I lose. Like, there's people that get so mad that I play with when I lose, and it's just like, dude, chill. It's just a game.
That's how.
Like when I'm playing ranked, I can understand, and I'm really trying when I play ranked. But
yeah,
whenever I do casual or just like regular matches, like I'm playing for fun. I'm not playing like.
That's how I feel about my fighting games most times. But I try to get a little bit more competitive with it, or Rocket League.
Yeah, Rocket League, you get really competitive.
You get really competitive in Rocket League.
First off, I don't like losing. No one likes
Just period?
losing. No, period. Like, I can lose in this game right now, and you probably hear me throw this controller into my.
Well, it's because you're playing bots, and if you
60-inch
lost
TV.
the bots, you would be so mad.
Oh no, I would
Be mad at yourself.
and I would be mad at everyone involved in the situation.
Yeah.
What did I
Like,
do, man?
no, man. If we were playing bots, I would literally smack all of you. Like, me and Ty played rank with, should I even say her name?
Just to
Say
Lucid.
beats or Lucid.
Okay, we've been playing games, ranked
Lucid,
matches
yeah.
with Lucid, and I cannot stand losing. Ty knows. I start blaming everyone but myself, and I know it's a group effort thing, but I just I'm trying my damnedest, and I just sometimes feel like you guys don't try. Here, go for it.
You're gonna go and fight? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight now.
So we were supposed to come up with topics, each of us.
Yeah.
I sent you a message yesterday. Come up with a topic.
Yeah, at 9 p.m.
Still
after I
nothing
came
come
home.
up.
Look, man, it's not as easy as it sounds.
Dude, I passed out at like 9 p.m. because I went to that store the other day. Remember? A busier store.
Right.
Busier Five Guys. Worked an 8-hour shift. I was like out. I was gone.
This game loads really long.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Anyway, continue.
But
game with no story. It sure does take forever to load.
Right?
I do have a topic, however.
Okay.
What is it?
First topic, only topic, and maybe it'll diverge on something else. Probably will.
Yeah.
So with the Division coming out now,
Yeah.
and us playing a bit of it,
Yeah.
the predictions at the beginning of this generation have always been like, it's going to go open world. It's going to be more kind of the sandbox games coming out.
Right.
Especially with like Mirror's Edge coming out and Dying Light and all that. It's supposed to be kind of open world.
Right.
Yeah.
Dying Light is pretty open world.
How do you think it's going to evolve after this year?
So you mean like open world games in general?
Yeah. Well, just kind of the genre that's coming through, because like you've got the Division now, which is competing with Destiny.
Yeah.
Destiny's just old now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People that are on it are just really hardcore.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you think? Do you think some
you should
games,
bleep that out.
What do you think will happen to some game series that were traditionally?
Well, first off, there was Watch Dogs a while back, and that was actually, I mean, it wasn't a
Terrible.
bad game, but it wasn't a great game either, and I was very hyped for it. But like they said, or at least a lot of it was that it's going to be completely open sandbox. Like you're gonna mold the world or something like that. Like the world is molded to your
Whatever you
thing.
want to do.
Yeah, whatever you wanted to do. But
Yeah.
it actually turned out you were very limited. I mean, it was technically open world, like say GTA or whatever, but it ended up being like not what I felt like it said it was going to be.
You can choose a different game if you don't want to play this one, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of people beat up on Watch Dogs because it was kind of considered false advertisement for a bit.
Yeah.
The same thing is kind of coming back through The Division, where like early footage when the game was just being kind of pitched to the public. First trailers ever to reveal the game
Yeah.
were like super mega high intensive graphics with crazy lighting and
I mean, it's
effects.
pretty good graphics, honestly.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Some people have gripes, but they can have their opinions, and we have
Well,
ours.
As you said,
True.
they're just people who pre-ordered and didn't get exactly what they thought they were getting.
Yeah, I feel a lot of the backlash is from people that pre-ordered as soon as they saw the game when it was first revealed.
Okay, this is my thought on it, right? I'm okay with the game getting delayed as long as it comes out eventually and it's alright. You know how I feel about delayed games. I'm like, damn, that sucks, but it's okay as long as it's a good product. I like a good product, a decent product.
Right.
I don't care too much about DLC.
Like when they rushed Destiny
Yeah, they rushed Destiny out
and they DLC'd everything else.
and it was terrible.
Cut it
Like,
to pieces.
Yeah, and I mean, now it's better. It's still not what they said it was
Oh
gonna
my
be.
god, when Taken King came out,
We were-
it was like the best thing in Destiny.
yep.
Yeah.
Still is the best thing in Destiny, I
We,
think.
we were like, oh my god, this was worth the $40 I spent on it. I wish it was the original game.
I wish they updated the Taken King in the
They,
Sorry, I wish they updated House of Wolves in the Taken King.
yeah.
Because House of Wolves is actually still pretty good, I think, especially with the Prison of Elders. So
Yeah.
that's what I
But
want
you
them
can't
to
get any
update.
good
Is,
gear from it now.
that's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
They should have updated Prison of Elders because that was a fun game mode, but nobody plays it now because you don't get anything out of it.
The thing
Yeah.
that pissed me off about the Taken King coming out was that people were able to buy the game for $60 and get the $20 each DLC pack and the $40 DLC that came out.
Oh yeah, when the Taken
Okay,
yeah, it was
man.
hot time.
Sorry.
The Taken
We're in
King
my room.
edition came out, or the Destiny, not Destiny Gold. I don't know what the heck. Maybe it was Taken King.
No, it was
edition.
like, yeah, it was Taken King edition. They had the base game, $80 worth of DLC just packed into it, and you could buy it for a $60 value.
Yeah,
Because me, you, and Austin bought each DLC for $20 each.
yeah.
As they came out.
Yeah.
When they came out. Or you guys bought the season pass.
I started when the first DLC had come out.
Yeah, you bought the season pass, so you spent
Yeah,
the
Dark
$40
Below.
up front.
Yeah.
I think I bought the season pass
From
too.
the get-go.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the beginning, pretty much.
Yeah, you told me about the Dark Below, and I bought it before Austin, and you guys bought the House of Wolves pack before I did. Yeah, because you had the season pass, and then Austin bought it.
And then I bought
Yeah.
it. This
You're like,
because you
Frankie,
guys,
you need to do this.
yeah, because you guys said you were gonna buy the next one no matter what.
So, the problem with that is, I spent $60 on the game, then another $80 total for a
Yeah.
$120 value. And what did we get out of it? What did we get as year one players who basically beta tested that? We got a fucking shader.
Yeah.
And like an emblem or whatever. That was about
Something
it.
like that.
shader,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a black shader and an emblem, and
Did we
There you
get
go.
that like the year 2 version of the Stranger's Rifle too? Was that part of that, or was it just
No.
Is that even a thing?
yeah,
Yeah, they made it purple.
yeah.
Instead
They made it
of
a purple.
I don't think we
Blue?
got it though.
No, we got it.
I know I got it.
No, because
did?
we already had it. Therefore, it became a purple.
Oh
It just-
yeah.
It
That's
just
how
flipped
works,
over.
'cause it
Oh, I
got
just haven't
converted
done
to
that
the year
then.
2 version.
It's
No,
still in my locker.
It just sits in your box and it turns
Yeah.
purple.
Well, that's what I'm
It's
saying
changed.
is it's in my box. I
Still
never
not that good
looked at
anyway.
it.
Nope.
But I really hope
That's cool, though.
like the trend for this year doesn't really, as far as Destiny goes, because Destiny 2 I think is supposed to come out.
Yes.
Not this year, but I think. Wait, maybe this year?
No,
I don't
no.
remember what they said.
No.
2017 maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Really?
Soon.
Destiny 2?
Yeah.
Weren't they gonna do Destiny 1 for 10 years?
Yeah.
They
It
want
failed
the
miserably.
Destiny IP to work for 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I really hope they don't break up their DLC or their game into DLC.
Like
No,
they
they
did
are.
before?
I mean,
Yeah, they are.
yeah.
There's no point in hoping because it's a moneymaker.
I'm just
This is
curious.
Activision we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how it'll
How do you
turn
do what
out
you did
though.
before?
The second game.
How do you do what you did before?
You mean?
Like, what did you do before, like, to play?
Oh,
Just trying to work.
Because I went into the story mode.
yeah, this is the story mode.
I know,
I
but-
just went into story mode.
Oh, okay.
Street Fighter 5.
Can you just play bots, like, over and over?
Yeah,
You do like 3 matches or something.
yeah.
This game's
Oh.
kind of weird.
This game's very
No
weird.
arcade mode or anything.
What?
That makes me sad. Yeah.
Have they updated
Can I
it
versus
yet?
bot?
No, I haven't gotten
really
it yet.
weird.
It was free.
Can you versus
Is it-
bot?
No.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
this is
versus
free?
No.
No.
Oh, how'd you get it for free?
The DLC was free. Like you see, you can't. It's a 2-player.
Oh,
only
that's
versus
dumb.
mode.
Okay.
You guess you could do survival mode. Pick
Sure,
a
why
person.
not?
Here you go.
Um,
Anyway, this Activision we're talking about one. You know, DLC's their moneymaker. You know, it's their moneymaker.
Well, apparently they're getting a new writer, and they're changing like the way these two companies, Bungie and Activision, are communicating with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because they realize that there's like a lot of shortcomings that the game has.
Oh no,
Still-
shit.
Oh my god.
Destiny?
Where's Destiny's story? Where is it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I
On
don't
the
think that's the
Grimoire?
writer's fault. I think that's
Yeah,
that's got to be
true.
the company's fault.
That's the company's fault.
Not
But,
Bungie either. I'm talking about you, Activision.
Well,
you know you
actually-
can make like Luster stories. Come on now.
You know, I don't really know why the Grimoire thing even exists.
I don't
Like,
either.
who thought that was a good idea?
Um,
Do you think it was Bungie?
I think so because they wanted to pack as much lore into it as possible. But I think that was like they were gonna do like the base story, and then you have the Grimoire cards expanding the lore just a bit more,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. And it was like
There's-
something you can look at if you want, so it's not
Yeah.
important
Mhm.
to really know, but...
Yeah, like knowing about witches and the wizard witch thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not something we needed, but it's something I have read through, and I'd say, oh, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like that it's there.
Yeah.
It's that there isn't like the base in the game to really, allow that to be something added onto it.
Exactly.
It's part of it that maybe should have been in there, or more should have been in
Go with the
there.
health recovery, because it's survival.
Survival.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like I don't know about Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I haven't really seen a whole lot about how the open world works there.
Oh, is that the next one that's coming out? That's
Yeah.
the name of it? Okay. I didn't know it was called Catalyst.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's supposed to be
Kick 'em.
cool.
Kick
About
'em.
Faith's
It's supposed to
kind
be
of origin.
It's supposed to be open world, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
the city's supposed
Yeah.
to be open.
That's crazy.
I know. It
Some
sounds really
Assassin's
interesting.
Creed shit right there.
But as
I'm
far
kidding.
as the division goes, it seems like
It's completely open. You can go anywhere from the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much,
Except,
yeah.
except different areas have different level enemies.
Well, yeah, you have the difficulty thing, but you can go there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like GTA 5 where you have to do so many story missions to, get to the next place.
yeah, Frankie and I were marathoning from safe house to safe house.
Yeah, that's true.
Going from like the high level area to the low level area.
But I
and then
guess in
back again.
GTA 5 you can go anywhere at any time, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that was a couple of years ago when that game came out.
Yeah.
So the exploration of Destiny is pretty good. I like how it promotes it through the vanity items and little houses and stuff you can go into.
You mean Division?
Yeah.
Did I say Destiny?
You said
Yeah.
Destiny.
Frack!
Division.
No, there is like hardly any incentive for exploration. In
There is no
Destiny.
exploration in Destiny.
There's very
I mean, I guess-
slight, like at the beginning of the game where you'd find like
Yeah.
There's some in
like
Taken
the
King.
sparrows or something in
Yeah,
caves.
and I guess you can go into the Cosmodrome or the patrol missions.
Well-
and just
Taken King, I would say, promoted it better, since you would have to.
I mean, it was
how
a
can I
whole
say?
new ship is the thing.
No. What I mean is, okay. Well, when when Taken King came out, you would have to explore the areas and get to know them better if you wanted to find the Taken leaders or whatever.
Yeah,
So you can do some of the
Yeah.
Taken King's quests.
but I mean, kind of like compared when you got the Taken King and were exploring the ship
Mhm.
versus when you had all of the planets and you're exploring the planets. So I guess you're right. It did do better because I felt
I would go
more
back to planets
intrigued.
to explore.
you would.
Yeah, because the Taken enemies were there.
Oh,
now.
I'm seeing like you relearn the areas.
Yeah, you would have to
Okay.
learn them if you want to find a specific major.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or,
I see
I
what
mean,
you're saying now.
ultra, whichever.
Yeah,
whichever
I
is
see what
the
you're saying
boss
now.
areas.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because you're like, oh yeah, this ultra is in the XX area. I'm like, I don't remember that area. Where is that? And then you would go to that planet and you would go explore, and then you would end up finding more chests.
That's
and
true, yeah.
all that. Like, I remember when you guys told me about the golden chests, and I was like, what, there are golden chests? And I was like, oh man, I want to find some of those. And then I found like 1 or 2 of them. I found all of them on Earth. Mm-hmm. And then I would go to the moon and I totally forgot about them again.
Yeah.
And I go to Mars and I find like 1.
Yeah.
And then so on and so forth. And I'd be like, I don't want to go find the golden chests anymore. That's stupid.
You know, I think I was reading more of the complaints on the Steam page.
Yeah.
So a lot of it seems to be coming from late game.
Yeah.
As far as things to do, there not being many.
Well, I mean,
as far as variety goes, that's something that's kind of present in a lot of MMOs. Though.
Yeah, that's present in most games.
That's why they came up with like DLCs.
In general.
I feel like with the Division coming out, with Destiny being a thing, that this kind of shooter-looter thing is really going to be moved into pure MMO-style game.
Yeah.
And that'll start to rise again.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I think it makes sense.
But they may make MMOs better.
That's
well.
true. I mean,
MMOs
that's
for
what
me.
I hope for.
Yeah, me too. Because MMOs for me, it's very stale. Most MMOs. I don't know. Final Fantasy XIV gave me something that no others that I've tried haven't, like Terra or.
I remember we played Terra and we were interested in it for a short while.
For a short while, yeah. It's always interesting at first because it's like new and it's like, oh, well, this whole world is new, and then you start getting into it and it's like, okay, this is basically the same thing as every other MMO I've played.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of like,
I feel like
what's
it was
different?
The mechanics behind
maybe Final Fantasy XIV just kind of gave it to me because I knew
Final
Fantasy.
Yeah.
And so I knew this, like all the people and different races and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting to me because it was this world that I've grown up on and very nostalgic about, and that I was able to play it openly.
Yeah.
And it was just different.
Explore, and it's your own character. And
yeah, exactly.
You can be your own color. He doesn't talk, period.
Yeah, that's true. And I was able, to basically make my own character in the game. So if I wanted to be a freaking little black mage dude, I could be a little black mage dude, or, whatever. And so I was able to, instead of getting characters and having like a group, I made my character and then I was part of that group. Like I was in that group. I wasn't
we
controlling.
Were your group.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't controlling what was happening in a battle. It was like I had my part in the group rather than controlling everybody in the group, controlling the healer, controlling the battle.
You see, that's what I like about it. That's why I like being healer in that group, because I like playing a big role that doesn't have to do a lot of attacking, because I'm not really good with attack stats. Like, I'm not really good with stats unless it involves healing for some reason.
Really?
Because the thing is, I always pump every point I have into a healing stat, right?
Yeah.
But when I do it with attack stats, I have to... there's usually 2 of them. Like dexterity and power or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And I would always have to juggle between them because I was like, okay, wait. If I go attack stat, if I become a DPS, do I focus more on power or do I focus more on dex? Do I want to be long range or do I want to be short range? So I end up becoming tank instead, so I can, because I know it's going to be more close range.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, just power. I think I just beat it.
Huh? Oh. Well,
nice.
Yeah, I definitely think that games are going to become more MMO-like, for sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think Ubisoft just got, record sales in UK.
With Division?
Yeah, with the Division.
Nice.
And I know
There you go.
Destiny was immensely popular.
Like a new character.
So it's...
Well, yeah, it was Bungie with Activision, so it was 2...
match made in heaven, as you would think.
As you would think, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much in my eyes, and some, yes.
You're gonna die.
But, I really hope that they learn how to improve MMOs through this. Like, the exploration in Division is a lot more worth my time that I feel than most MMOs have, where it's just kind of like an open world, but there's not really a whole lot in it except for some people to talk to and some things to kill.
Yeah. See, you know what's funny about that? Because I kind of want to go and explore on my own in Division, but then I say to myself, no, hold off on that. I want to explore it with my friends instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like in Destiny, it's like, I'm going to need you guys to help me with this particular mission.
The world in the Division is very interesting. It's fun to just run around and look at the place.
Okay, so I have a question about that. Is it more interesting because it's hits closer to home, it's more based in our reality, or is it more interesting because it actually is better in general?
I think it's because it's kind of, I know Fallout is, probably, I guess, what you're trying to go after is, I would say, hits home, because it's kind of like, I would kind of relate it to the movie of I Am Legend, actually. The world, the kind of world it is. And so it's like
Less
it's a
people
place.
know.
Yeah, it's a place. Yeah, and I Am Legend, but it's a place that I know and I can recognize. But it's also
world.
and I mean I haven't been to New York, but I've seen so many movies and all that stuff about of New York and all that stuff, and so I recognize its architecture or whatever, but it's a freaking fallout of New York, and so but like Fallout itself is just it's technically Washington or New Vegas or whatever, Las Vegas or whatever, but it's not recognizable because it's completely destroyed.
It's not, and it's also from like a different alternate future or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's like stuck in like 70s tech or what? No, not 70s tech, like 40s tech or something, right?
They went into nuclear
Something,
fusion.
yeah.
They did nuclear power rather than
electricity,
electrical power.
Well, I mean, still the electric.
But
Well, yeah, but I mean,
no, I understand what you mean.
I think what
Like they
the
have fusion
Division
cores.
benefits from is it being modern, and the fact that this sort of thing being believable. Like this world feels like
it could happen.
it's fairly believable and lived in.
I hope it doesn't ever happen.
No.
I mean, I don't
No.
hope it on any.
But it's
city.
believable.
But
It is believable,
The
and
thing
that's the
is
scary thing about it to me.
you go walking around and you hear, you go and you find those echoes,
Yeah.
and you start to kind of like. I mean, you already understand when you play the game, like, oh, this is a city that's been ravaged by some sort of plague or virus.
Yeah.
That there's not going to be a whole lot of like people moving around a lot in the city. I mean, it's freaking biohazard outside.
Yeah.
So, like, some people complain that there aren't a whole lot of people you see outside in the city. But it kind of makes sense for someone not to be wandering out and about while people are shooting each other dead in the middle of the streets.
Oh my god, you lost and won at the same time.
On Street Fighter. But, it feels lived in with, especially with its environment. I'm really quite impressed how detailed it is without it being, like, really slow. Like, it's
I haven't had any frame rate issues.
What are you talking about? Don't see a lot of NPCs. Maybe in the dark zone, like normal people.
I mean, I wouldn't say a ton like New York way, but there you see people.
It's a
in the
Fallout.
I
street.
see people all the time.
Yeah, and it's
Like
Like on any given street, there's usually like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a Fallout. I mean, it's
People are dying left and right.
You look at the actual Fallout games, and there's nobody out there except in the civilizations, and even then, there's like 5.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you go to actual Megaton or Washington or DC. Even in DC, there's not a lot of people unless you go inside a building.
Yeah, usually people are grouped in shelter, which is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that people would be rummaging around in New York because they can't get anything from anywhere else.
Yeah, and
in
this
the city.
is still the I would say early stages comparatively of a Fallout and the Division.
Yeah, no,
and so,
Fallout usually it's like a couple hundred years after.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
people have already adapted and figured this out. People are struggling to get by in the Division. Even though you don't see it a lot, you understand that that's what's happening.
Yeah,
especially when they come up to you and ask for food and shit.
And I mean,
that's why you're there.
Necessarily seeing that isn't the main point of the game, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it just helps with theming.
Yeah, with theming. And so, I mean, you help people that are in need. You give them like a water, candy bar, or whatever.
Or in Austin's case, you go around shooting dogs.
Okay. That's not what we're talking about, Frankie.
I'm just saying. Going around shooting dogs, breaking the one rule.
Anyway.
I mean, Ty's the only one who hasn't broke that rule. Don't shoot animals. Ty's the only one who's followed that. I shot him in the beta.
If you shoot animals in the Division, it makes you a bad person.
Anyway.
Ty's just
going on. Where was I? Fuck. Thanks,
I'm sorry
guys.
about that.
Well, great. So the world is.
We go around asking people for help, helping them out.
Right. So you see it, and it shows it to you, and it's not like they're not there. It's like, I mean, people are there. You go into a safe house. There's a bunch of people in there.
Yep.
You see the other.
And more Division agents.
You see the other Division agents. Yeah. I mean, you don't see them in the world, but with the amount of people that play the game, it's not. I mean, that's another thing I like too. That isn't. Like MMOs. In MMOs, you see everybody in your instance.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the Division, you only see people in your instance whenever you're in a safe house. Yeah. or you're in a group with them, but that's your choice.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, I'm playing with these guys, but like in an MMO, it's like I'm just a part doing the same thing over and over that millions of people before me have.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I kind of feel the same thing when going back to Destiny and doing like the later game stuff, like the
raids and shit.
Well, even the raids or like the daily stuff, or sometimes even the Nightfall, where like people are just running through just to finish this thing as quick as possible so they get what they want.
Yeah.
And it's something you can tell. Like, the game's been around for a while. There isn't a whole lot of variety as far as the missions go. Like, you have the ones from the DLC and from the vanilla game, and that's it. There isn't any like straying from that. So people are tired of doing the normal rigmarole of shooting through all these guys and then getting to the next area, shooting more of these guys, or just running past everything till the end and finding the fastest way to complete things.
Yeah.
Which is the grind for gear, but where's the world taking place in all of that? It's just an obstacle.
True.
That's
Like,
true.
it's not actually something that you really observe after a while.
And that's
We're
what
trying
I
to
was
make better, for that matter.
And that's what I was excited about for like Watch Dogs. That's kind of what it sounded like when they were talking about releasing Watch Dogs, is that it was a world that you're going to like mold, and you can like do anything in, and you can have all these options, and like it's a complete sandbox game, even though it had it had a story obviously, but the story like kind of made you go certain places.
Yeah.
It was like it wasn't like, oh, I can do the story mission, or I can do all of this other stuff, and then, oh, now the story mission is like something different, or it's like, oh, now this is affected by doing this. Like, nothing was related to each other. I never had any choice in necessarily doing anything. The game definitely kind of puts you towards doing the like good side. The only way of doing bad side is just killing random people all over the place. I saw there was no like choice in like even side missions. There's no choice in like, oh, I can either save the guy that's getting mugged or help the guy that's mugging him. There wasn't even like a choice like that. It was just like, oh, your mission is to save the guy that's getting mugged, and it was always the good choice. And so I would think in a complete sandbox game, like they were kind of saying, you would have a game where you have at least choices. Say, like going back a while, Infamous. You had choices in your missions,
Right.
And that was an open world as well. I mean,
Infamous or Hero.
Exactly, but I mean, it was very black and white.
Yeah, it was very black and white, and that's the annoying part about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was one of the early.
I think one of the most.
It was one of the early choice games.
Yeah, I understand.
And
I think one
it.
of the most interesting choices inside the first Infamous game was that one where you, spoilers by the way, if you haven't played Infamous.
Yeah.
Where you have to choose between saving all those doctors or saving Trish, and it didn't matter which one you chose. Trish died, right?
Yeah.
And if you saved her, or you tried to save her, she would get dropped, and she'd say how disappointed she is that you didn't save all those doctors. Because in that one, you were being selfish, and you killed everyone else's
like
hope.
hundreds of people.
Yeah, not hundreds. It was like 10 doctors.
Oh, was it? Oh, right.
Yeah, but it was like, they could have saved 100 lives.
She dies like at the end of the game or something.
No,
Like,
it's in
by
the middle.
end of the game, she's
like
always
right after that.
dead. Well, yeah, I know that mission's in the middle, but does she die in that mission?
She died. Yeah,
I thought she dies later.
No, you
No,
try and go
If
save
you
her, and then he
her.
just drops
Yeah,
her.
he's
anyway
like,
or something.
I have the ultimate choice for you. Save Trish or save all these doctors that can save countless lives.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, shit, do I save my girl or do I save these people that will save people?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna save Trish. And then she's like, hey, I'm disappointed in you. That was the wrong choice.
I forget how she died though. Anyway, I forget how she died
She
anyway.
got dropped off a building.
She got dropped anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But,
No matter what she did, she got dropped off.
Oh, okay.
And like, that's a pretty arbitrary choice or whatever, and people get pissed about that anyway. Because like, why can't I save her? It was a symbolic thing.
Yeah.
Because then you just screw everyone over by being selfish.
Yeah, really showing who you are.
Yeah.
But I didn't really watch the Watch Dogs stuff very closely as far as the advertisements go, so I can't say whether or not that was like a thing as far as choice goes.
They showed it, and you could do what they showed, but they showed it in such a way that was like very misleading in what it ended up being.
I guess
Because you could run around the town and like screw the cops over and mess with people and like control trains, get on trains, control cameras, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But they did the the main one that I saw is he was in the street and he was just kind of walking and he just kind of like saw some dude got his information, went to a ATM, and then took money out of the ATM, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then he like turned around and looked at somebody and was like, oh, this is like a random person that he saw, and it was like, oh, now they have like a threat or their possible threat. And so he followed him into the alleyway, and then he attacked some lady, and he saved the lady and chased after the guy, and then like, you know, caught him on the ground and knocked him unconscious and but then the cops saw him, so he was like, oh, now I'm getting chased by the cops.
Yeah, because you're a vigilante.
Yeah, and so he runs, and there's a car coming, and he brings up the poles on the ground, and it slams into the poles.
Yeah.
And then, there's some more cops, but he can't do anything about it, so he runs up the stairs and gets on a train, and then starts the train, and it starts going off, and then he gets away.
So you're saying, like, there isn't really a whole lot of consequence for, like, vigilantism in the game?
Well, there's that, but I'm saying in this trailer, it seemed like all that kind of happened. I mean, I know it was staged, obviously, for the trailer, but they made it look like it kind of happened fluidly and just kind of happened randomly.
Yeah, like
you would just look at somebody. But when you get into the game, that like threat level thing it's like, we found this like area, and it's like a circle on the map, and you go into the circle and you look for the person, or you look for the person that's either a threat or a threatened.
Yeah. And
it's like, it's not like, I just walked by this person, and then it's like, this person has like a threat level.
Right.
You know, it's like you have to go to a certain area.
So,
I mean, you can do the thing with the money, but it's like, it's just random. It's like you can go, you see so many people, and it's like, you can either get a song, you get money, or you get like, I don't know, clothing item or something like that. And it's just like, you look at everybody and they have one. It's not like, I found this really rich person and I can steal this much money from them. It's like, you found this random person, this person has $800, this person has $2,000 for no reason. It's not like, you know, you see a businessman and you're like,
anything from
it. You didn't. It's just kind of like
set RNG.
Yeah, it's RNG, and so it's like, what the heck? And I mean, you can have the car come in, and that I can understand. Like, that's not always going to happen because they set it up for the car to come in and get slammed by the pole. But I mean, and you can do that, and they set it up kind of well where you can do that because they have, but it's usually during driving. It's not like you're on the street. On the street, you kind of have to just do it. But in driving, there's like a slow-mo or whatever.
Slow motion.
Yeah. So it's like, it wasn't technically false advertising, but they definitely made it seem different than what it actually was. Is what I'm trying to get at.
It's that that importance to keep the world making sense.
Exactly, yeah.
And being cohesive with the theming of the game.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot more MMOs would do a lot better. And I mean, it might be partly because I won't like read quest like descriptions and stuff or something. So like I'll take a glance at that. But I mean, you don't really need someone to tell you what's going on to understand it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, there are ways of telling a story without flat out telling you
without
what's
giving you a
going
paragraph
on.
of information.
Yeah. Like in The Division, and I'm going to go back to this because this is of recent memory and it's new.
Okay.
You can tell what's happened right away. Even if you like ignored the first scene or whatever, you can see like the streets just filthy, people are coughing everywhere.
Oh yeah.
There's like biohazard areas in parts of New York.
Yeah.
But
it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
It's like something viral went down right here.
Like I feel like if there's more importance in MMOs that are probably going to be rising in popularity throughout the years as kind of like an open, believable world, I think that would be something quite special to have.
Yeah. I would like something that maybe doesn't have like, I guess it's like an MMO where it doesn't have like necessarily a story. I mean, I guess MMOs have a story technically, but it's kind of like loose.
I think I understand what you're getting
at. It's like a difficult
so
balance that a game has to be a game, like mechanically.
Yeah.
But also like work as a story as well with a bunch of other people. And that's the tricky part, is making yourself feel like you're important. And
you're only important in your group, Austin, especially in Final Fantasy XIV. But if you don't come to Final Fantasy XIV, I'm going to replace you. I'm going to replace you, dumb black mage ass.
I think maybe what they could do is something kind of... I mean, I say similar, but the
Nice, Dad.
I guess MMOs probably have the structure. I haven't really played enough to know.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Warframe has like the clan sizes, you know, where you have
Yeah.
different group sizes.
Mm-hmm.
And just have different missions for that different type of group, you know? Where
Oh.
you have like small battles and larger battles, where
Yeah.
these large clans or groups are, you know, fighting for something that exists within the game world. So it makes sense.
But they do
in
have
the
that in
context of
Warframe.
it.
We just haven't gotten it yet. And as a small clan, we can also do it.
Right.
It's called the
But it
Dark
could-
Sectors. We could own those.
It could be something more in other games too.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's an
understand.
interesting idea that I think could work in a lot of other games too, if they took the time to
Implement
create
them?
a system like that.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
What were you saying, Frankie, that I was going after?
A game where it has MMO type mechanics,
Yeah.
but not really a set story. You
Yeah.
kind of just did what you wanted,
Yeah.
and you made your own story as you progressed. It
Exactly.
was like that's how I felt like Skyrim was, except it did have its own story and
It
all
did
that,
have its own story,
and it has
yeah.
side stories and whatever. But like,
That's probably the closest that I could think of.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That
because
Fallout. Well, the Bethesda games. Let's
Well,
just say
that's
Bethesda.
what
Bethesda
everybody
games.
wants when they when they think of Skyrim with multiplayer, you know?
yeah, exactly.
It's-
And that's not what it was.
No.
No. I was like, here I am, an adventurer, or whatever I am.
Yeah.
Whatever I was before doesn't matter. What I am now is I'm going to go forward out into this wilderness
Yeah.
with my group of friends, and I'm going to write my own story.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping No Man's Sky will be like,
Yeah.
really.
So that's what everybody's looking for, I think, because
Yeah.
all the games that are getting popular are the ones that kind of like advertise that sort of
Freedom.
freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
At
advertise
least,
that. And
at
so,
the very least, sorry if I'm cutting
No,
off.
go ahead.
Go
At the
ahead.
very least, to the console market, that's kind of what we want.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much PC.
I'm
that
not
have
really
been
sure
working
about
on the
PC.
MMO and all that, but just something that a couple people could gather together and explore the world with.
Yeah.
You know?
So like in Elder Scrolls Online, instead of having go this place immediately, it's like here's the world, here's your people that you want to play with, and you just get together.
Yeah.
And it's like boom, that's it. Like
Yeah,
you're
I-
your person that you made, you're your class or whatever, and then it's like go out with your group or solo, whatever. And then it's like you go out and say you find a story part. I mean, obviously they can't just make it. I mean, it's really gonna be really hard to make it completely
Free.
Open.
Yeah.
But like make it to where it's like, okay, you go to this area and you find that story there.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and there's
feel
like say there's gonna be like 10 different stories in the whole world, 10 like big stories I should say.
Yeah.
In the whole world. And it's like you find those though. You don't just get like a story from the very beginning. It's like go here and get this person, talk to this person. It's like you go to say Skyrim, you know, from the center, and you find you actually find the main dragon in Skyrim,
Yeah.
and then he's like, the blah 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 blah. I need you to
help.
kind of do this. You know what I'm saying? Like that would, I think like it's not technically open or like freedom because you have to do what he says to like complete
But
the game.
it's your choice
But
to
it's
do
your
the
choice
story.
to do it or not.
It's
yeah.
your choice to approach it and take it as you will.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
could ignore it or not.
So-
Yeah.
But I think a
The
lot
only-
of what
Oh,
at
yeah,
least
go ahead.
Elder Scrolls Online's pitfalls were the fact that it kind of, and I know it was supposed to be an MMO from the get-go.
Yeah.
But
It was had the Elder Scrolls name attached to it.
yeah, I think it just relied too heavy on being an MMO and not really taking advantage of
The
why Elder Scrolls works.
Yeah.
And why people wanted to buy the game in the first place.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
Now-
makes sense.
And also, especially the fact that it kind of falls under a lot of like video game tropes. Of like, here's your quest, go and do this. You talk to a guy, kill some things, come back, talk to another guy.
I don't know what you're
continue
talking about
on.
because that feels like most of Elder Scrolls to me. That feels like Skyrim in a nutshell to me.
See, that's how I feel like the story feels in Skyrim.
Okay, I'll give you
Which
that.
a lot of people kind of complain about being short or not quite as more adventurous than the rest of the game is, because you can just walk from point A to point B and find stuff along the way.
Yeah.
And I feel it's... I
And
wonder if anyone's going to have the guts, any developer have the guts to make a game like Skyrim where you have stuff planned out and that you can just find,
Yeah.
but just remove the marker or something that says okay, this is your
main
main story.
Yeah.
I'm
This is
kind of hoping
what
that's
that
what
is.
they do with the new Zelda U game.
It's really difficult because, okay, think to like the earliest open world game, which is actually Legend of Zelda, that I can think of, at least off the top of my head.
Yeah,
that's
besides like the old like text adventure MMO.
Yeah, besides text adventure, the actual you can see the world and you're like walking through it, and you see your person or whatever. It's Legend of Zelda. That was completely like find it.
Yeah.
They gave you no direction. You had no idea. I mean, I don't even know if you had to go into the cave in the beginning to get the sword.
You did.
You did have to go? You couldn't go out of the first screen?
No.
Yeah, I have to go into the... Well, yeah, you can go out of the first screen and get your sword and just do whatever without a sword. I'm pretty sure you can do that.
But that'd be dumb.
I see what you're saying, like,
but like, okay, where I'm going with this is that the only problem I see with what I was saying earlier is that you just may never happen to find that. You know, like you may just get in there and be like, I can't find anything, this is stupid. But
we were talking about this in the car, weren't we?
I don't remember.
We were talking about something like this about when we were driving Tyler's brother's car off. You're like, the problem with Legend of Zelda, the original one, was like there were no NPCs to talk to, really.
Yeah.
And they would be like, oh, these dungeons are on this location.
But I feel like now that especially a lot has progressed and just like game development has progressed and a lot more people are into video games than back then, and there's a lot more input they can get. They could make it to where it can be open world like Legend of Zelda and have no direction necessarily, but have that little direction to where it still feels like you're doing what you want to do and you're finding everything. But at the same time, you know, you're not just wandering around not being able to do anything because you can't find what you're supposed to do. Like, I mean, in all of the Elder Scrolls games, I don't know about Morrowind, and sorry, the last two Elder Scrolls games I should say because I've played those. The Black Brotherhood missions, you kind of just accidentally kill somebody. Well, for at least Oblivion, you kill somebody.
Yeah, you kill someone
innocent,
and you sleep.
and then you sleep, and then you get a guy comes up, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I felt like I found that. You know, I didn't plan on it. I didn't know it was going to happen. I was never like informed about it. I mean, I knew it from the Skyrim because I played that before, but I didn't actually even know that it was in Oblivion. I thought it was an Elder Scroll or a Skyrim thing. And so if you've never played the game, which that's what they assume when you play the game, you know, I didn't know that was going to happen. I felt like I found that.
Right.
You know, like it just kind of, it came to me, but they did it in such a way that it was like, oh, that, like, I did that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I made this happen.
I have the same kind of moment in Skyrim when I was talking to you guys at school about it, right? And then you were telling me about how, Parthenax, right? The main dragon bad guy or whatever?
Oh, he's the good guy on top of the mountain.
Parthenax is good. I forgot.
Alduin.
Yeah.
Is
the bad one?
He's like, Taylor was talking about it. She's like, oh, yeah, you go.
Oh, yeah, I know what conversation
that?
you talked about.
Yeah.
Him, like, flying around and resurrecting
dragons. In dragon tombs. And I came across a mound of dirt, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Then I see Alduin flying across, and I'm like, is this what I think it is? And I felt like, oh my god, it's happening! I found it! It's like, whoa, this is real!
Well, see, okay, here, if you want to
continue. Go on.
I was just going to go off, and I was saying before, getting rid of that marker that says, like, oh, hey, this is the main story thing. And how it's a risk.
Yeah.
It's like, developers are worried that the audience that's going into the game isn't the audience they necessarily planned for, so they're going kind of broad perspective.
Yeah,
they're tossing a broad net, which is an okay thing.
Yeah,
people are allowed to go into different genres if they want.
Exactly.
But the thing is that when you have an adventure game, or maybe even an MMO game could develop this too, I think it'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah,
is to just get rid of that marker and expect that adventure game players, or adventure games, are going to be played by
adventure
adventurers.
gamers. Yeah.
People that are actively looking for that. Like, you don't need something to say, okay, hey, I need you to kill this freaking monster in the dungeon who holds this great loot. You already know that. You're an adventurer. You're the one that's going to go out and do that.
Before.
You want to.
Like, there's been moments in games where, like, I didn't know that later on in the story, this big monster, say in an MMO, actually, this big monster was, like, part of the story.
Yeah.
But like earlier on in say that storyline or whatever side mission or main story it was, they hint at it. You know, they're like, oh, there's like this big monster in this certain place, and he's like killed so many people, and everybody's gone in there, and I'm just like, I want to find that guy. So I go out and it's MMO, you know, it's open world, so you can go wherever you want. And I go in and I find him, but he's like level, 40 or whatever. I'm level 20 at the time. But, I felt like, oh, I found this guy. Like, I just took this clue that this guy said, like, oh, he's in a cave in, like, this area. And everybody that finds it goes in, but never leaves. Never leaves, like that. So we're like, we don't know exactly where it is. And it's like, I'm finding this thing. And then, like, I find it, and I, obviously leave or die because level's way too high. But I still feel that feeling of like, I did this. I'll keep this on the marker.
I'll keep this on the map.
Exactly.
For later.
Yeah, and then it ends up being a story mission later on, which then I'm kind of like, oh, well, now this was like super duper planned. Yeah. And it kind of like I lose that feeling of like I did this.
That's kind. Darksiders 2 did something similar to that.
Yeah.
Right. You hear about this one particular boss in the underworld or whatever. He's like the former king of the dead or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He was banished away, yada, 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 stuff like that. Well, you can actually, after you beat the game in New Game Plus or whatever, or even before you finish the game, right? You can find mini-bosses that are completely out of the way of the actual story. And you have to find the hints to them. You're like, there's this cavern out here. You go check it out maybe sometime. You might be interested in it. I found the cave with Devin and we fought the boss and it was really hard. It was really fun, etc., etc. It's like, and there's even there's this thing called the Crucible, not Destiny Crucible.
Right.
Yeah.
Where you can fight bosses in large waves of enemies, and there's 100 rounds to it, right? And at the very end, you fight.
Didn't you show us that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
We were doing it marathoning it, all three of us.
And we got to
at one point.
30 or something.
Yeah, and Darksiders 2.
Oh, yeah.
You remember we were fighting in the Crucible, and we got like
that
50.
arena thing.
Yeah. And then you can fight older bosses that you killed already. If you haven't seen them before, you can kill them again. You can kill them for the first time, and then go find them and kill them again.
Dead, so I'm gonna let you
oh, crap. Die.
You were at like half health. Oh, so what I was going to say...
Wait,
crap, I just had it, and then I said that, and now I forgot.
My bad.
No, it wasn't you. I was like, I'm going to say this, and then I was like, wait a minute. It just immediately disappeared.
Happens.
Oh, I think that's why people love Easter eggs so much.
Yeah.
With any game. Because it's like, the developers didn't necessarily put those... They didn't put those there for you to go and necessarily find. They were put there for you to accidentally run into.
Yeah.
Or, like, seek out, Like, it wasn't like something they were like...
Like, oh, this is a marker, here's your Easter egg,
Yeah, exactly.
Video game.
It's like, oh, I went around this corner and then I like found this button that was like really, really hidden and it opened up this thing and now I have to do all this stuff.
Yeah, it's an adventure in and of itself.
Yeah, and even in like a very like linear game, you find that and then you do all this stuff and it just the whole time you feel like, you were meant to like, you weren't meant to find this.
Yeah.
You found this on your own. Yeah, it's special. And so it's like
the heart and the Statue of Liberty.
I think that's also why people,
games.
especially say in Skyrim or whatever, you find a side mission and you're like immediately like, I want to do this instead of the main story. Because you feel like, or at least I do, I feel like the main story, you're meant to do that. Like that's what you're supposed to do in the game.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel great not following it for some reason. I want to...
Because you're making your own story.
Exactly, I'm making my own story. It's like, I'm doing this side mission, and then it's like, I found this one. Now I'm choosing to do this. It's like, exactly. I'm choosing and I'm allowed to choose
what I want to do.
Yeah, and so it's like, since I'm not choosing the main story, I feel like I'm making my own story now. And then it's like, when I
became an assassin.
Yeah, and then when I go back to the main story, it's like I'm choosing to go back to the main story. I'm choosing to do this now. So even when I go back to the main story, it's like, yeah, I'm supposed to do this to continue in the game and do better in the game or whatever. It's like I'm still choosing to do that. So in Skyrim, it's like it's rewarding anyway. And And I mean, I can understand beginning game. Most of these, like, they have that, tutorial or whatever.
I don't mind tutorials.
Yeah, I don't mind those though.
Yeah.
It gets me into the game. It gives you a little bit of background into the world and in the story, and that's. I mean, if they do it well, I mean, there's obviously horrible tutorial levels.
Yeah.
There's really great tutorial levels.
Yep.
Demon Souls.
Demon Souls is a really good or bad?
Shut
Good.
Really good?
Really good.
No,
Okay.
terrible. Because I can't beat it.
You can't beat the tutorial
I
level?
can't beat the tutorial boss.
Well,
That's
anyway.
the point.
I want to kill him.
You can't.
What's the point?
You
I know
can't.
you can't. I want to
And
kill
then you
him.
die anyway. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably wrap this up. Any last thoughts about anything like this?
Don't get too butthurt about mechanics not working the way you want them to.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's
Well,
the
no,
way
he's saying
the
that.
game-
He's saying for him
Oh.
or for other people, I
Yeah.
guess. It's the mechanics. Like, don't get butthurt that the mechanics aren't exactly what you want or exactly what you expect. Like, no game's perfect, and no game is gonna be the thing in your head.
Nope.
Which I mean is sad, obviously, but you can't. You got to realize that.
No Man's Sky. I'm sad. I'm afraid that's going to be No Man's Sky for me.
Oh God.
I don't know. We'll just have to see.
But go into games with an open mind. Like don't go in. And I mean, it's hard because we've kind of actually said like this is what we think it should have been, and this is what it should be.
well,
but if
we've been
we're going off of what
We're talking
What
about
we
the
feel like they
evolution
promised.
of a genre that might work and
Yeah.
how things are being shown to us.
And what I wanted to say, or what I was trying to get my point across in this, is that I feel like, for me at least, I don't know about anybody else or anybody else's opinion, but or how if this is even like possible necessarily for game developers. But for me, it's just like I said, like have it completely open. But I mean, obviously, you need those directional
you need
missions.
some system to kind of sort of guide you, but
But
I feel
like I
in some
said,
cases,
find it.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, make an adventure game for based on the idea that adventurers are going to play it.
Yeah.
People that want to go out and find everything, that want to enjoy the world and make their own story and be their own person in the game.
Yeah, I think actually Ego Raptor was talking about that in his sequelize between Ocarina of Time and The Link to the Past, I think.
I don't think those games should be compared because they're two different types of games. One's a 2D adventure game, one's a 3D
that's what he was
adventure
comparing.
game.
They're very
difference.
similar in how
Well, I
they
mean,
approach
they're
the
based on the-
story. But anyway, we need to wrap it up. This has been the first episode of
Casual
Talks. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully we'll do this more.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's any ideas you have again. And, let us know if you want us to even continue this. And you may not like it. You may love it.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I like
Oh,
talking
fun.
to you guys, period.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, hope to see you guys in the next one. Hopefully we make another. I'm pretty sure we will.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I liked it.
More than likely. In the
All right.
summer.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.